Welcome to Kickstarter Radio 102.4. I'm your host, Lipstickpaddy. Ooh, and today we're looking at the Age of Atlantis. Ooh, yeah. Let's go to the highlight reel. Ooh, the Age of Atlantis. Check out this box art. Ooh, it's great. Long campaign, and look at this. Over 1,000 backers in the first day. So, wow, it's blasted for its goal. That's because it's looking great. A competitive engine building Civ game. Ooh. Now soloable, up to 4 players, 35 minutes per player, which is not too bad for a Civ game. In fact, maximum there is just pushing 2 hours, which is great for a Civ game. Look at it on the board, it looks so great. And this city is a floating city. Look at the ocean all around it. It's a round city with the god Poseidon. And you know, if you get the god unhappy, he will flood your zone and wipe all your buildings out. So you need to be careful. All the gubbins you see in here in the beautiful box, you think this would be like a $99 game, but what? Hold the fort there. $59. $59 for all this? How have they managed that? And you're going to have epic turns that push you from last place to first place, so that suggests it's potentially swingy in its nature. The rulebook is only 4 pages long. And if you paint them, they're going to be nice and colourful. I love this white and gold from Pegasus here, looking great. And the art here is drop dead gorgeous, isn't it? I love this robot art mixed with the neoclassical. Looking great. Oh, look at it. We're going to wait for this to render as it is. Each section has kind of its own art. Absolutely beautiful. I love the colours of the rivers, the bridges going across this city. I just love how the smoke from the whatever this building is carrying across the board. It is nice. Minis, we've got the rotation on, which is perfect, so you can see about them. This means I've got confidence in my minis. I'm going to do 3D rotation, so looking phenomenal. If there's stretch goals coming, this is going to make the $59 really exciting, isn't it? It's a value proposition. It's going to get like, oh man, it's going to be too good to be true. Now this is quite fun social. Every 50 shares the campaign gets, Poseidon's going to grow 0.5 millimeter. It is, and check this out, shipping prices, maximum shipping $23. How have you managed this? Team, 3 people, this is an indie game. Would you have guessed it's an indie game? Look at it, I mean it looks like a AAA game, an indie game, wow! Now here's the 4-page rulebook, but without... That's the only picture in it, it really is. So it could definitely do with more pictures. Yeah, super cool, guys. If you like Civilization games, or you've not got one on your shelf, this is certainly an interesting one. Buy an indie team at a very good price. Stretch goal is going to make this proposition look even more sexy. And oh yes, keep a reminder on this one. When it gets to its final days, we'll see what shape the box is in, and it could be even better than it is now. And what that is going to blow my mind, because it's a cracker, isn't it? Yes, this is an absolutely great game, a great Civilization game that you can play really quickly. So let's go to the Kickstarter right after this important message from the studio. Here we go. Kickstarter Radio 102.4 does not stand still. It is constantly evolving. Our Saturday show has just been upgraded to the newest, skinniest version, where we only look at the games we covered in the week in a new, skinnier format. Also, our live show on Sunday has been trimmed off the fat too, and we look at games that we could not cover in the week that are full of promise too. And also, we will be covering all the interesting and cool games that are worth your attention, so it is worth subscribing to this channel just to see all that we offer. So why not subscribe and make this channel even better, as we have a ton of social stretch goals, so this channel gets bigger, better, and better for you, the viewer that loves Kickstarters.
So if you're bored of retail, this is the YouTube channel made for you.
Ooh, the Age of Atlantis. Check out this box art. Ooh, it's great. Like a neoclassical picture from Eldorado Games, looking great. A long campaign, and look at this, over 1,000 backers in the first day. So wow, it's blasted for its goal, and that's because it's looking great. A competitive engine building Civ game. Ooh. Yep, become one of the most powerful houses in the legendary city of Atlantis. Wait until you see the board. Let's go down. Let's waste no time at this one. Now, soloable. Up to 4 players, 35 minutes per player, which is not too bad for a Civ game. In fact, maximum there is just pushing 2 hours, which is great for a Civ game. That's because the Civ game is based around one city. Look at it on the board, it looks so great! And this city is a floating city. Look at the ocean all around it. It's a round city with the god Poseidon in the middle, and he is putting the 4 houses here in competition to see which one should win his favour. And you know, if you get the god unhappy, he will flood your zone and wipe all your buildings out. So you need to be careful. Also, you'll notice each house has these little statues here with like a plateau on them that's holding a die on them, which is kind of novel in itself. And you'd think with all these 3D miniatures, the nice big map, the miniatures, the custom dice, all the gubbins you see in here in the beautiful box, you think this would be like a $99 game, but what? Hold the fort there. $59. $59 for all this? How have they managed that? Have they actually got a profit on this? This could be all profits go back into the game because it just looks an amazing value. You'll notice here that each house has their own unique asymmetry to their own tech tree, as they have different buildings that give them different things during the match. So yes, I call it a match. Nice how the board is looking in its radial, and when people attack they'll be coming in from the outside and pushing into the middle. So there is all that good stuff. Now you've got to build your civilization together, it says. So yeah, you are working together to keep the city afloat whilst building your Civ engine. If you don't help each other, then things will go awry on the board, yes. Each game you are going to be building in unique city maps, so good replayability here. It says here combined with 16 faction possibilities. The factions are those people that are going to be coming on the board that you've got to deal with. And every game does require a unique strategy, of course. Yep. It says it's going to be tense and explosive. Yes, you're going to have strategy here. It's not luck-based. And you're going to have epic turns that push you from last place to first place. So that suggests it's potentially swingy in its nature. Here's some that's fun. The rulebook is only 4 pages long. It says every game, though, you're going to learn, you're going to improve, and you're going to want to play it again to try a completely different new strategy. Radho here thinks it's innovative, ambitious, amazing, love it. Ambitious for $59. Yes. Absolutely, definitely worth looking at these reviews because the game is a hot one. It really is. It's why we're covering it today, to bring it to your attention amidst the 60 plus games that dropped today on Tuesday. Goodness gracious. This is the one that had us all 4 going, ooh. You can see this statue of Poseidon here, and he is going to be in the game as a statue for the centerpiece of the board. Yes, and some interesting things are coming here. So it is all alternate history, and we've got a little bit of lore here, and the gods here themselves are giant machines. You'll see they're kind of robotic in nature. from the pictures, and if you paint them, they're going to be nice and colourful. I love this white and gold from Pegasus here, looking great. Cerberus here, you can see the angular head of the two heads here. Minotaur is looking cool. I like these additions. So it's like a chiseled bull, isn't it? It's like a robot. And the centaur here looking even better, with like a guy climbing on the back of this giant robot, looking stellar. And again, these are going to look like they're going to be really fun to paint, and they're all carrying this plateau bit here for the die, which is nice. And the art here is drop dead gorgeous, isn't it? I love this robot art mixed with the neoclassical, looking great. You can see that the Pegasus has a shuttle action, Cerberus has retrieve action, Minotaur has a rage action, Centaur has shoot arrow action. So they're all doing something. These are all sculpts though, that we say coming soon will be the final sculpt, so maybe we'll get that in the campaign. The campaign, just go up a second here, is a longish one, plus 30 days. So we've seen a few long campaigns that are dropping this week, and this is one like it too. Not too bad to have a long campaign. Gets that means they're not too worried about the lull in the middle, and hopefully the campaign has things going in the middle, which excites people to want to back it, like people doing videos like me. Look at this neoclassical picture here. It looks stunning, doesn't it? With a river through it. It looks like some kind of Renaissance picture with loads of people here on the dock. Looking out, looking great. Now, board-wise, fantastic detail here, we can see. You can see the custom dice Poseidon in the middle, lots going on. You've got unique buildings for when you put them out. It's got a super premium look to it coming out the gate, this box. And potential stretch goals, if I'm looking at these images, are just screen printed buildings is kind of potential. Maybe a dice upgrade to make them translucent, which is a trend. But heck, you've got minis, you've got great buildings, unique everything here. What else can we get? Oh, you've got the religious faction, the contractor faction, the government faction, and the architect faction. Each house has its own asymmetric building and way to score additional points. Juicy, juicy. So you got a town hall, which will be doing lots of things up through 3 ages, it looks like, which is nice. You can unlock things like steam power, medicine, and pharmaceuticals down the green side, which is government. And the colours mix in here, but the purple colour in particular here doesn't assign to a house at all, which is the temple. I don't know, because the religious is supposed to be the blue, but the blue on the cards here is about irrigation and mill thingies. So I ignore the colours of the houses. It doesn't relate to their board at all. In fact, the board uniqueness is just at the bottom right here, which says is House Biston. This is the architecture faction. So and I'm guessing as it's pointing to the factory here, this is what the building factory looks like. It's just pointing to these bits and bobs. All really nice. Yeah, your workers are going to have feelings, which you can see the die changing here from happy to sad. And you're going to need to keep a nice balance to keep them happy. This is a core tenet of Civilization games, is happy people. The workers, though, you're going to be forging buildings. So this is where the map can change every time you play. The myths are going to come out, though, and defend the city from attacks, which you'll see in the next slide here. And they can move. You can see here that the dice on the back of these units is the citizens. They're moving them around the board, which is potentially get them away from an attack, or get them to a part of the city you want them to build, or get them to the part of the city where they want to gather some resources. So So there you go. Now, your myths here, the special effects, it says, can be used to defeat the enemies that are crouching here. It's a little bit like tower defense as they creep towards the center. And really, this is where you're going to work with your opponents, because the center where you're all building your buildings, you can see the mix of colors all around that area. So potentially 2 colors are going to get attacked here. So you're going to have to team up, maybe. Now, you've got to worship Poseidon in this as well, and these minis looking wicked. So if you don't worship him, it says, then bad stuff's going to happen. You're going to anger Poseidon, and he's going to flood your territory. Yep. So yeah, basically, if people come and attack him, he's going to get peeved at you, and he's just going to flood you out. Bah, bah. Yeah, we saw the ages, and you've got this nice aged thick token, which is coming up playing the 4 ages of the game. And, well, I say 4 ages. It's like 3 ages and then at the end, isn't it? The end phase. So, yeah. Looking fantastic on the table, gameplay looking great. Like the fact you've got a team up if you're both getting attacked in the same area. It is nice. But look at the 4 rulebook page. That'll be literally super quick. Oh, look at this board, high res. Let's try and click this for fun. Oh, look at it. I'm gonna wait for this to render as it is. Each section has kind of its own art. Absolutely beautiful. I love the colors of the rivers, the bridges going across this city. I just love how the smoke from the whatever this building is carrying across the board. It is nice. I'm just going around the outside of the minute as this is where the farms and stuff are. But it's totally lush. You can see like the hand-painted ocean effect, impressionist on the outside, very good. Mountains impression style as well. Get a little bit detailed here in the mining section, all good. And out here we've got like rivers and stuff and lakes appearing, so I don't know what you can fish maybe from that area, we don't know. And then the center of the city, this is the plum area for building. The big slot there for Poseidon himself. But it is looking beautiful, isn't it? Obviously a lot has gone into this board. Cards attack in place on the board, and the 3 ages. There's quite a lot on the right hand side of the board to help you track the game, which is all nice. So no complaints about the board. In fact, it looks stunning. Minis, we've got the rotation on, which is perfect, so you can see about them. This means I've got confidence in my minis. I'm going to do 3D rotation, so looking phenomenal. Like the little tail on the Minotaur at the back. Nice. Look at this Cerberus guy. Oh, 3 heads of the dog, all angular, robot, big tail sticking up. Must be happy doggy. And the myths here. It would be nice if they were a little bit asymmetrical. These, you know, just had the arrow pointing in a different direction or doing something. I guess you can paint them up to be a little bit different, but they're still cool. Again, it says they're finalising these sculpts, and if you've got concerns about them being a bit too thin in places like the bow string here, we are making final touches to make sure they are sturdy, it says. That's a strong word to use, sturdy. Certainly got big chunky bases, that is for certain. Now, the boards are nice long. They've got this nice big art on the left here as well. These are the wooden pieces that are screaming, screen print me, screen print me, screen print me. They do look good though. The town hall, yeah, the barrack, the temple, the mill, the monument, the tavern, the capital, the factory, the custom dice, wood markers. Resource tokens look like they could be screen printed. We've got some directional dice for the enemy randomization and all that good stuff. And this nice player tracker and the age big thing that moves around. Contract cards, lots of stuff happening here, and you've got reference, and there's even a strategy guide to help young players out. Yes, indeed. Stretch goals, busted the funded, well done. It does say stretch goal will be revealed, so that this could be a set of dailies that are going to be unlocking through the contest, the campaign rather. So definitely get a reminder on this. We'll see how. I mean, if there's stretch goals coming, this is going to make the $59 really exciting, isn't it? As a value proposition, it's going to get like, oh man, it's going to be too good to be true. Now this is quite fun social. Every 50 shares the campaign gets, Poseidon's going to grow 0.5 millimeter. Now the maximum height's going to be 130 millimeters, 13 centimeters, which is nice and big. So, yep, there's going to be lots more ways other than Facebook, it says, to share. So yeah, and they're tracking the share count on this count here, so you can kind of keep an eye on how big the mini's getting, which is actually a very cool social stretch goal, isn't it? Yes. Reviews, a ton of fun. Yeah, it is on Tabletop Simulator, so they are confident with the gameplay, which is all good. Radho's video, one to watch. And give a shout out there for Guadalupe. They do good fun playthroughs as well. I like to watch them. And you can go on Tabletop Simulator and check it out there too. Asking for playtesters as well. So, you know, they're still potentially testing this game out. It is going to be another year before it comes out. We're looking at June 2021, which is a good year away. So there's some development yet to go in this, but it's looking stunning as it is. And check this out, shipping prices. Oh, maximum shipping $23. How have you managed this? This company, super cheap price coming out the gate. Cheap delivery prices. Wow. I am telling you this. These peeps are keeping the values down, and look at the team. 3 people. This is an indie game. Would you have guessed it's an indie game? Look at it. I mean, it looks like a AAA game. An indie game. Wow. The artist has knocked it out of the park here to make this look super special for an indie game. It really is. And this is definitely going to go up there as one of the best indie games of the year. I mean, look at it. Gameplay looks solid as well. Good replayability. Alright, let's go to the rulebook. The 4-page rulebook. See what that's all about.
We interrupt this session to give you a special message from the studio. You obviously love board games, but do you like video games too? Well, if you do, our host Lipstickpaddy took a look at E3 this year, 2020, and picked out some amazing fresh titles that aren't being covered by the mainstream. The link is above, you can check it out, it's on the channel, and if you love video games too, you will love this coverage that he did.
Now here's the 4-page rulebook, but without... That's the only picture in it, it really is. So it could definitely do with more pictures, definitely. The setup on the board, really the numbers should be on the board as we're looking at, like 2 tiles. Where am I putting the tiles? It says number 2. So yeah, it'd be nice if we have some numbered instructions, how they go, and all that good stuff. Now this is horrendously just text heavy, and it really needs a lot of pictures. It is super work in progress, but they've got the meat of the bone down for you to look at, but it's not appeasing to the eye, we'll say that. We've got a whole page of art here, but that's not included in the page. You got page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4. Well, the pages are double-sided, aren't they? So it's 8 pages, really. And it is absolutely solid. And of course, if it's on Tabletopia, then it needs to be solid in order to play for it. And they've got a nice glossary at the back here of game principles, although it's not in alphabetical order, which is weird. It's nice that they've got an FAQ here and some additional rules, and hopefully they'll put in a index when it gets more pictures in it. It's going to push it to maybe even 16 pages then, which is still good for a Civ game. Absolutely is. And so there we go. Just needs a rethink, really. Put some more pictures in, make it easier to follow, less of a read, with some nice instructions. I think I'm preaching to the choir here. I think they are aware of how to improve the page here. So yeah, it's just something that needs to be done. And no front cover. We need a front cover too, obviously. And yeah, let's jump back to the Kickstarter. I'll give you our final thoughts. Age of Atlantis. Oh, this is definitely a unique civilization game on the market. It really is, isn't it? We love the asymmetrical start. We love the 2-hour time that it's going to take to play. We love all the little buildings. We love the minis. We love Poseidon mini in the center. It's looking very cool. And it is action orientated. There is combat to be held here, as well as you building your engine, unique engine from each person. And they've got that part where you're going to be helping each other. If you're all building in one section, yes, it's so good. So 2 of you could get affected, where you're going to have to force to team up, even if you are against each other in the long game. So yeah, super cool, guys. If you like civilization games, or you've not got one on your shelf, this is certainly an interesting one by an indie team at a very good price. Stretch goal is going to make this proposition look even more sexy. And oh yes, keep a reminder on this one. When it gets to its final days, we'll see what shape the box is in, and it could be even better than it is now. And what that is going to blow my mind, because it's a cracker, isn't it? Do we recommend it? Of course we do. It's looking great. Now on that bombshell, this has been Kickstarter Radio 102.4. I'm your host, Lipstickpaddy. You take care, stay safe, and bye-bye for now.